Hi, welcome back again to my channel, and for today's video, we will be talking about the Bernoulli's equation in differential equation. Okay, so suppose we have a differential equation of the form, let's say, y prime plus p of xy equals q of x y to the n. So, ito yung itsura ng differential equation natin. So, kung titingnan mo, these are actually common to our differential equation class, these equations rather. Kunyari, ganito siya. Remember, these things here are a function of x, this one. And then, the conditions are p and q are continuous functions on some interval. So, anong mapapansin niyo? Now, let's suppose, for example, kunyari, your n here rather is a positive integer. Ganyan. So, kung titingnan natin, bakit ko nire-restrict into a positive integer? It's because when n is 0, so our equation becomes y prime plus p of x, y equals q of x. So, this is actually a linear differential equation, and we're actually done with this from the previous differential equations class that we have. So, hindi na natin yun papansinin. Also, when n is 1, ang mangyayari, y prime plus p of x, y equals q of x, y. So, this is still a linear equation kasi pwede mo naman itong makombine eh. We will consider those integers n which are greater than or equal to 2. Ang mangyayari dyan, if this is n, pwede natin siyang i-divide by y to the n. So, our new equation will be, ito yung original equation natin ha. So, our new equation will now become y raised to the negative n, y prime, plus p of x, y minus n plus 1, which is equal to q of x. Yan. And remember, I can rewrite this in the form of y to the negative n dy dx plus p of x. Baliktarin ko lang ha, y1 minus n equals q of x. And so, ano mangyayari dito? If I'm gonna divide both sides by dx, what I would have will become y negative n dy plus p of x, y to the 1 minus n dx equals q of x dx. So in other words, if you have these equations, either this one, yan, or this one, we are actually considering this of what we call Bernoulli equation. So this is actually a type of differential equation in which we're no longer talking about linear. So this is actually the nonlinear differential equation. So for a case like this is very difficult for us to solve the solution already of this differential equation. However, by the fact that we know already how to solve linear differential equation, now our goal here in Bernoulli's equation is that we want to convert differential equation to linear. So that means we're actually linearizing them. So, ang mangyayari dito guys is, note first that this y to the negative n has a derivative which is the same as, paano ba? Okay, note first that the y to the negative n has a derivative of negative n, y to the minus n plus 1. Ganyan, that's y prime. Similarly, if I'm interested to get the derivative of 1 minus n, ang mangyayari niya, yung derivative niya is 1 minus n, y to the negative n. Tama ba? Y prime. Okay. So, this means to say that if we let our z to be equal to y to the 1 minus n, ang mangyayari dito is, yung equation mo na ganito, yan, I can now replace that by this form. 1 minus n, y to the negative n, dy, and this is equal to dz. Tama ba? Kasi tingnan mo, since our z, we let our z to be 1 minus n. So, the dz is equal to this one. Tama? Kasi ito yung derivative niya eh. Fair enough, we can now substitute this. So, mangyayari, we have this new equation. This means that we can have dz plus 1 minus n p z. So, that's p of x z dz equals 1 minus n q of x dx. So, in this case, guys, ang nakikita mo, hindi na siya non-linear, linear na siya. So, by this, we will apply this to an example. But of course, by solving this Bernoulli equation, pwede natin gamitin yung mga previous topics that we have as a prerequisite of this Bernoulli equation. Let's say we want to solve the solution of y 6y squared minus x minus 1 dx plus 2, let's say 2x dy equals 0. Okay, so how do we solve this one using the power of our discussion for Bernoulli's equation? Pwede ko bang i-simplify muna to? In this case, we can rewrite the equation. So I'm writing it formally as 6y cubed dx. So bali, dinidistribute ko siya. And then eto, ayokong ihiwalay lang muna. So I would have minus x plus 1 dx. And this is plus 2x dy equals 0. If I'm gonna rewrite it further, I would have 2x dy minus, may y pa to dapat, minus y x plus 1 dx, and I'm gonna transfer this as negative 6y cubed dx. Mapapansin mo, magiging Bernoulli's equation na siya kasi ang terms na nag-involve sa kanya is of dy, eto, and then we have as an expression of y, but this is dx, and we have another dx here. So basically, parang kung tinatrato mo, ito yung p of x mo, ito yung q of x mo. Kasi di ba yun yung given sa equation natin, p of x na may kasamang y, and then q of x na may kasamang y raised to something. So ito yung q of x mo, ito yung y raised to something, and ito yung p of x mo, ito yung y. Okay, I'll use a color red to indicate a scratch here, which is not part of a solution. Tatandaan lang natin that our n here is 3, kasi ito yun, di ba? Our q of x is negative 6, and our p of x is x plus 1. Sige. Okay, so dahil Bernoulli na siya, I can divide both sides by y to the cube. So ang mangyayari dito, I would have 2x y negative 3 dy minus, eto magiging x plus 1 y to the negative 2 dx equals negative 6 dx. Okay. So ang mangyayari, this is now a linear in terms of y to the negative 2. So in this case, let's say v equals y to the negative 2. And so our dv is negative 2y to the negative 3. Tama ba? Okay, so the reason why I am using this, kasi sinasabi ko naman talaga there is no such technique for that, but it's just actually meant by experience na parang nakikita ko na sa sarili ko na I can use the fact that y is negative 2. Kaya nga, dinidivide ko sila both sides. And then, instead of using this as v, eto yung gagawin ko kasi alam ko yung derivative niya is of the form like this. So, ang mangyayari dyan, because my dv is negative 2y to the negative 3, this means that I can replace this guy here by dv. So, I would have x dv, but it's negative, minus x plus 1 ko will still stay the same. However, this one will now be my v. So, that's v dx equals negative 6 dx. And if I'm going to divide both sides by negative x, so that means I would have dv plus x plus 1 over x v dx equals 6 over x dx. Negative yan. Okay. And so, I would get dv plus v. Eto, pwede kong i-distribute siya sa yung 1 plus x to the negative 1. Tama ba? dx. So correct me if I'm wrong, and if you have any question or clarification, please let me know there. And this is negative 6x to the negative 1 dx. Tama. And so, we will now be solving this by integrating factor. Kasi ito yung format eh. Ganito na. Na-remember nyo dati this is dy plus a function. Let's say p of x dx equals, this is something q of x dx. So the integrating factor, so recall our formula for the previous discussion, we have our integrating factor is, ano nga yun? That's u of t equals e to the integral of 1 minus n p of x dx. Tama. So, since ito na yung equation natin, I would have my integrating factor as u of t. Sige, thus, that's equal to e to the integral of 1 minus, ano nga yung n natin? 3. So, I would have my integrating factor as e to the integral of 1 minus n p of x dx. Okay. However, in this case kasi, that's integral of what? Our p of x. So, nagiging ganito. Integral of 1 plus x to the negative 1 dx. And so, if we simplify this, I would get absolute value of x e to the x. So, kayo nang bahala ha. This is basic calculus na lang. So, dahil this is an integrating factor, so I would now be able to multiply this on this one. So, I would get x e to the x dv plus v e to the x plus 1 dx equals 6 e to the x dx. Okay, so observe that this is an exact solution, but then we can take the integral of both sides. I would get xv e to the x, and this is equal to 6e to the x plus c. Since yung v natin is, ano nga yung v natin is equal to y to the negative 2, we can now go back to the original as x y to the negative 2 e to the x equals 6e to the x plus c. Okay, so magiging x e to the x equals, tama ba? If I'm gonna multiply both sides by y squared, so that's y squared of 6e to the x plus c. Okay, and so x is equal to y squared, and that is 6 plus c e to the negative x. So this is now my solution. So if you have any question or clarification, please let me know. Okay, so let's try another example. I have 6y squared dx minus x 2x cubed plus y dy equals 0. Okay. So how do we solve on this? In this case, gusto kong gawin yung, I'm gonna introduce a new technique for this, although we're still be sticking on the Bernoulli. It's just that for a past couple of days, nakita ko to siya, and then trinay ko what if ganito siya yung technique. So, ganito siya guys. Let's say for example, since this is our equation, I'm gonna multiply this by x squared. Here's the solution. Multiplying both sides by x squared, we have 6x squared y squared dx minus x cubed 2x cubed plus y dy equals 0. Okay, note that for x cubed, the differential is what? Anong derivative nito? That's 3x squared. Tama ba? And that's dx. So if I'm gonna do that, we let's say w be equal to x cubed. So ano mangyayari? Sige, let's try to simplify first muna. Ang eto, I can write this as, yung 6 kasi pwede kong gawing 2 times 3, no? And then I have x squared dx. And then meron pang y squared, no? So I can use that. I can have this. Ganyan. And then minus, I have x cubed, and then I have 2x cubed plus y dy equals 0. And so, I have 2y squared dw. Kasi, the dw is equal to 3x squared dx. Tama ba? Ang mangyayari, this is minus w times, this is 2w plus y dy equals 0. Okay, so this is now a homogeneous equation of degree 2. Tama? In degree 2 siya sa y at sa w. So, let w be equal to zy. Then, anong mangyayari? Our dw is z dy. Tama ba? Plus y dz. Basic calculus lang, derivative. So, ang mangyayari dito, remember, eto na siya, no? So, if I'm gonna plug in this information right here, kayo nang bahala ha, it's just an algebra lang naman. So, this is actually 2y dz minus z 2z minus 1 dy equals 0. And via another algebra, correct me if I'm wrong, you can double check this later. That's 4dz 2z minus 1 minus 2dz over z minus dy over y is equal to 0. So, obvious yan. So, therefore, if I'm gonna take the integral of both sides, ang mangyayari, kasi alam natin, the derivative of this is equal to 2. Tama? 2dz. So, parang, ibig sabihin that is, the integral of this one is 2 ln 2z of minus 1. Ito naman, that is 2 ln of z, integral niya. And this is ln of y. And so, since uniform sila ln, gawin ko na lang to ln ang constant. Yan. So, anong pwede dito? This is 2 ln of 2z minus 1. So, this is minus 2 times ln of z plus ln of y. Yan. That's ln of c. And so, divide both sides by 2. So, mawawala yung 2 dito. Pero dito, magkakaroon ng over 2. It's still a constant lang naman. So, you can just remove the 2. So, ang mangyayari, this is ln of 2z minus 1. This is by property, di ba? Remember, if you have ln of a minus ln of b, this is the same as ln of a over b. And then, if this is ln of a plus ln of b, this is the same as ln of a times b. Yan. So, ganyan ang gagawin natin. So, ang mangyayari, since this is minus, so magiging denominator to, pero this will be a multiplication. So, ang mangyayari, this is ln of zy, which is equal to ln of c. And so, removing it further, I get, at tapos mariremove yung absolute value kasi lahat naka-absolute value naman. So, this is 2z. So, okay, hindi ko na lang tatanggalin yung 2 muna. So, that's 2. So, that becomes 2z minus 1 squared over zy equals, let's say, c. So, c1 na lang yan, yung kanina, para hindi tayo malilito. And so, therefore, 2z minus 1 squared is equal to c y, z. Yung z ko is may 2 din, tama? Sorry. Dito pala yung 2, no? Sorry. So, dapat naka-squared si z dito. Yan, sorry guys. So, this becomes z dyan. So, since z here, di ba yung z natin is equal to w over y, and our w is x cubed over y, ibabalik natin sa original. So, I have 2z. So, that's 2x cubed over y minus 1 cube, squared rather, squared equals c y, that's z squared. So, nagiging x to the 6 over y squared. And so, this is equal to 2x cubed minus y over y squared, which is equal to cy x6 y squared. So, removing the square on both denominators. So, I have 2x cubed minus y squared equals cy x to the 6. So, this is now your solution. So, guys, if you have any question or clarification, please let me know. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or clarification, please let me know so that we can discuss on that. And for those who are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe so that you'll be updated on a lot of videos that I'll be uploading soon. Thank you and have a great day.